Hello, my name's Sam Owen-Hull and I'm an artist working here at Manchester Art Gallery. At the gallery I lead workshops with school groups and I also do creative families workshops in this lovely space. The painting behind me is a painting that I chose because I work with it quite frequently. I really like it. I think it's a really nice, big, abstract work that's really accessible and inspiring for the children and young people that I come in and work with. There's lots of possibilities from it because it's abstract. So it has lots of potential. My journey to becoming an artist has been a pretty straightforward one, really, I guess. When I was a kid, I loved drawing, I loved making things. That was what I spent most of my time doing. And I ended up going to university to do a fine art degree, purely because I wanted to spend more time making art. So that's what I did. And when I graduated, I found ways to continue working with art. So I make my own art, I have a studio and I continue my own practice. And I also am lucky enough to lead workshops in Manchester Art Gallery and in other kind of school, college, community settings around the city. I make art with school groups because it's a really interesting and exciting way to complement my own art practice. I feel really lucky that the work that I get to do is with children and young people in the gallery. I find it inspiring to talk to children and young people in the gallery about the work that we have in our collection, and that kind of exchange of ideas with thinking about the work that we're looking at and making often kind of helps to inspire me in my own practice in my studio. The kinds of things that I do with schools in the gallery, usually we always start work with looking at and talking about a painting. So we may look at maybe 2 or 3 paintings in a workshop, and they will all kind of be arranged around a theme. So we'll do lots of looking and talking and discussion. There's no right or wrong, which is one of the nicest things to involve in a discussion with children. There are always new things to discover. I've worked here for millions of years, and talking about the same paintings with children, you'd be amazed how everyone comes up with completely different things every time. Then we will do some making activities around the gallery, and as we go along we will take inspiration from the discussion and ideas that come out of the artworks, and they will then become part of our making, the drawing, as we move around the spaces. If school groups meet me, they will get to enjoy looking at and talking about art and having lots of fun. We will go on a journey through the artworks in the gallery, and we will go through a kind of simplified version of my process in Meet the Artist. We will definitely do that. My own artwork is painting. I make abstract paintings, which I then embroider, and although embroidery might sound like a strange thing to do in the gallery, we will go through a simplified version of it using kind of colour, pastels, and some yarn that we can thread through paper